The film begins with a convent sister praying before a picture of Mother Mary, asking forgiveness for the crime she was about to commit. She wrote something on the back of the picture, grabbed a bag, stole keys from her superior's room, and went to the convent gate to escape. But just as she was trying to open the lock, men in black robes and red masks suddenly appeared to apprehend her. Terrified, she tried to escape through the gate without opening it. However, one of the masked men grabbed her leg, pinning her against the gate and breaking it. The pain was so intense that she fainted. When she regained consciousness, she was in a coffin. She hadn't imagined such a severe punishment for her crime. She continued trying to escape. She cried and screamed, but no one heard her, and she finally suffocated to death in that coffin. Afterward, the scene cuts to Sister Cecilia in the same convent. This convent was in Italy, and Sister Cecilia had come here from the U.S. When asked about her journey from such a distance, Sister Cecilia replies, "A very strange incident happened to me as a child. I fell into a lake and died. My heart stopped for 7 minutes. The doctors declare me dead, but after 7 minutes, I was revived. My heart started beating, and it was a miracle. I felt that God had given me life for a special purpose, and I had come here to find that purpose." The Mother Superior seemed happy with Cecilia's arrival, although she could barely understand her, as Sister Cecilia spoke English, while everyone else spoke Italian. Sister Isabel, the Mother Superior's assistant, understood everything because she spoke English. But she didn't speak much because she didn't like Cecilia's presence there. Sister Cecilia is then given a tour and told that this convent is specifically for sisters who grow old while fulfilling their responsibilities. They are cared for until their death. The sister explains, "We are here to care for the sisters." As they were talking, an elderly nun arrived and asked Sister Cecilia, "Have you seen my father?" This sister was mentally unstable. Sister Isabel led her away. In this way, Cecilia began to understand her role here. Then Sister Isabel arrives. She takes Cecilia to her room and tells her she doesn't need to take her vows tonight. Stay for one night and see. If you want to leave, you can, and God will forgive you. Sister Cecilia didn't understand her intent. She ignores the warning and takes her vows as soon as night falls. It was here that she met Father Sal, the man who had invited her. They began talking, and Father Sal revealed his experience as a biologist before coming here. They were drinking wine. Sister Cecilia recounted the childhood incident when she died and was resurrected. As she was telling Father Sal, the world around them suddenly changed. They arrived at the place where she had just taken her vows, and a person was lying on the ground in a strange manner, praying, wearing a red mask. When Cecilia asked why she was lying down, she couldn't understand what the person was saying, as it was a strange language. Cecilia realized the masked person was a woman. She was about to leave in panic when Mother Superior appeared. She showed her the holy nail with which Jesus was crucified. Seeing this nail, Cecilia was so shocked that she fainted. Then, Cecilia found herself before the senior father, confessing that she had drunk too much wine the night before, which embarrassed her. She had just said this when suddenly hands came tearing through the wall behind her and dragged her away. Afterward, she found herself lying in a strange room, facing the same women, dressed in black robes and red masks. These people were touching Cecilia's body strangely. Terrified, Cecilia's eyes snapped open. Sister Cecilia realized she had fainted after her vows and was just regaining consciousness. No one was near her. But suddenly, she saw someone standing in the darkness. She turned on the light, and the person disappeared. Cecilia ignored it. The next day, Cecilia resumed her routine duties. She began serving the elders and learning the tasks. She quickly learned everything except how to slaughter chickens. Days passed, until one day, an elder died in front of her. No one was as saddened as Cecilia, as it was her first time seeing this. While for others, it was routine. Cecilia tries to regain her composure. During this time, she encounters Sister Isabel, who looks at her with hatred. A look Sister Cecilia cannot quite understand. One night, Cecilia is sleeping when an elder sister comes to her, suddenly grabbing her hair and cutting it. Cecilia wakes up, and the sister tells her, "We all love you very much." Cecilia thinks the elder sister is unwell. She lays her down on the bed and notices something very strange: cross-shaped burn marks on her feet. It was as if someone had branded her. Routine activities continue until one day, Cecilia's health deteriorates. She starts vomiting, and a doctor is called. Numerous tests are performed. Although it seemed like normal illness, she had a urine test, which she found strange. While thinking about this, Sister Cecilia noticed the masked woman outside her window, always lingering as if guarding her. Just as she was thinking, a bird suddenly flew into her window, crashing and leaving Sister Cecilia terrified. A short while later, she was called into the meeting hall. She was terrified because no other sister was ever called there. The questions made her even more nervous. The father was furious, saying, "You broke your vows. You had sex with someone." Cecilia tearfully swore that she hadn't. The father said, "Okay, maybe not here. But you lied, saying you're a virgin." He suspected an outsider. Cecilia swears that she was always a virgin. The doctor supports Cecilia, explaining he personally examined her upon arrival. She was a virgin. At this point, she noticed Mother Superior holding a file with her photo. After the interrogation, she places the file in a drawer. And despite the intense questioning, Cecilia notices everyone is strangely happy. Cecilia asks what happened. She is not told anything. Instead, an ultrasound reveals that she is pregnant. Just like Mother Mary without sin, everyone believed that Cecilia was carrying a holy child. Sister Cecilia becomes confused and asks Father Sal, "Why me?" Father Sal says, "Perhaps because God chose you." He reminds her God saved her life. Who knows, God might have a greater purpose. His words silenced Cecilia, but didn't reassure her. Anyway, Cecilia is now given the status of a mother. The other nuns are stripped and dressed in beautiful gowns, and they stand in front of her and pray. Cecilia noticed everyone was praying except for two sisters, Sister Gwen and Sister Isabel. She knew Sister Gwen had no faith in God. She had come only to improve her situation. But why was Isabel angry with her? This was quite confusing. Time passes and almost 6 months go by. Despite the passage of time, Cecilia's health shows no improvement. She was still experiencing symptoms usually faced at the beginning of pregnancy. She even broke a tooth while vomiting today, and this didn't seem normal. After recovering, she goes to breakfast and finds the nuns standing in respect, as usual, except for two. At the table, we see Sister Isabel eyeing Sister Cecilia with anger and jealousy. To vent her jealousy, she plans to kill Cecilia. While Cecilia is bathing, she tries to drown her in the bathtub, but others arrive just in time to save her. As the sisters drag Isabel away, she repeatedly. Tell Cecilia it should have been me. They should have tried again with me. What attempts was she referring to? Cecilia becomes confused. Later, the doctor comes to check on Sister Cecilia. They perform an ultrasound and find the baby is healthy. But Sister Cecilia says, I don't feel well. I broke a tooth vomiting. I'm still experiencing early symptoms. I need to go to a hospital for proper treatment. From another doctor. But Father Sal tells her, we can't take you elsewhere. If others find out, the news will spread quickly. We want to keep this secret. For this reason, Sister Cecilia remains silent. As she leaves the room, she sees two women in red masks standing in Isabel's room, staring. Sister Cecilia ignores them and walks on, but hears a thud. She looks back to see the women have knocked Isabel down and killed her. This was Sister Isabel's punishment for trying to kill Sister Cecilia. Sister Cecilia went to the dead body and saw wounds on her face and legs, implying they had tortured her. Shortly after, the funeral took place, and Sister Gwen, the skeptic, came to Cecilia and said, "Open your eyes. What's happening here is not what you're told." Before she could reveal the truth, Father Sal arrived and stopped her. She began shouting the truth about the convent. But before she could finish, the nuns dragged her away. Cecilia was deeply confused about what she didn't know. While thinking, the picture of Mother Mary in her room fell and broke. She saw something written on the back. It was the same Bible verse shown earlier. Reading this, Cecilia became convinced something was amiss. Cecilia guessed that the child, considered a blessing, could actually be a curse. Seeking answers, she went to Sister Gwen's room. But Gwen was gone. We know. She too will be killed. Cecilia remembered Mother Superior's file. She goes to the office and finds it. She is shocked. The file contains every detail about her, from her death to her life, school, and college. It was all there, and they already knew she was a virgin and arranged for Father Sal to lure her to the convent. Just as she was learning all this, she heard noises behind a door. Through the peephole, she saw Sister Gwen tied up, the red-masked guards were torturing her. They grabbed Gwen's tongue and pulled it mercilessly. Cecilia screamed. Someone covered Cecilia's mouth from behind. It was the elder sister. Cecilia tearfully told them she had to leave. The sister reassured her that she would never be able to leave. This confirmed something terrible would happen if she stayed. So the next morning, she hatched a plan. Loud screams came from her room. Everyone rushed in. There was blood everywhere. They feared for the baby. Cecilia knew doctors didn't come on weekends, so she chose today. Given her condition, the father decided to take her to a hospital. After she left, Mother Superior tasted the blood on the bed. It smelled familiar. She looked under the bed and found a dead chicken. She realized the blood was fake. Cecilia had staged it to escape. She immediately calls Father Sal. Cecilia, unaware, was waiting in the car. She fled, but the fields were endless. Father Sal and his men soon caught her. She is brought back to the convent and bathed. Father Sal now tries to convince her of the truth, so she will stop trying to escape. He explains, I was a biologist. I found the holy nail. It had Jesus' blood and tissue, which led to the discovery of his DNA. He explains that he tried to create another son of Jesus. He takes Cecilia to his lab, full of embryos. He explains these were all failures. The experiment failed for 20 years, but succeeded with her. Cecilia understood this wasn't a miracle. It was an experiment. They had drugged her wine that night. and perform the procedure then. Now, since Cecilia tried to escape, she had to be punished. But unlike the others, she wouldn't be killed because of the child. They brand her feet with a hot cross. Cecilia remembers seeing the same mark on an elder sister. This means she too had tried to escape during pregnancy. Cecilia realized the nuns were prisoners, brought here for this purpose. The convent was a prison. No one was ever allowed to leave. Cecilia understands she will never escape, so she quietly begins to live there. 9 months pass. Strange things happen. Her body begins to rot: nails, hair, skin. She tells the father, "This isn't a holy child. God doesn't want this." The father disagrees. Cecilia decides to escape again. While Mother Superior performs an ultrasound, Cecilia stabs her with a cross. As she flees, labor pains start. The father strangles her with a chain. The doctor runs away. She escapes to the lab. Before leaving, she intends to destroy it. She sprays ethanol everywhere. But Father Sal arrives. She locks him in and lights the fire. She thought he was dead, but he breaks out and chases her. Cecilia runs into the catacombs. There, she finds Gwen's corpse. She is devastated. There's no time for grief. She tries to escape through a window, but Father Sal attacks. He cuts her abdomen to get the holy child, but Cecilia stabs him in the neck with a holy nail, killing him. Finally, she leaves the convent. Her condition is critical. In agony, she gives birth. She cuts the umbilical cord with her teeth. The child looks terrifying and sounds demonic. She understood this was a curse. According to the Bible, this child would be the Antichrist. Cecilia suppressed her maternal instincts. She picked up a large stone and crushed the child to death. She saved the world from the Antichrist and fulfilled God's special purpose. She cries as she runs away. The story ends.